Hey everybody, it's Melanie, and we are on step 5 of 5 steps to happiness. So this is your last one. Okay, so this one is balancing work with play. I know that sounds a little bit easier said than done for some of us, but you can't do all of either and be successful or happy. Because let me just tell you, if all you're doing is playing and having a good time, you're going to be fun, but you're going to be kind of hungry for like money and success and life and things like that. And if you're working like a horse, you're going to be really dull and angry and miserable because you can't enjoy things in life. So, nothing is wrong with hard work. I have absolutely no problem with hard work, but, it's important to take time and play, like work hard, play harder. Because in the long run, if all you're doing is working and stressing over stuff like that and realizing I'm missing out on life, I'm missing out on all these things that I could be having fun with. I've missed out on my child's games. I've missed out on field trips. I have to work. I'm working so hard. Then you have these feelings of guilt and regret. So, I know, like I said, it's not always easy to find the balance. And here's the thing, though. If you're someone who can balance it, people are going to get a better perspective of who you are. I would much rather play on the drum all day, like they say. I don't want to work. I want to bang on the drum all day. But here's the thing. I'd be fun, but I'd be broke. So we have to find balance in it all. And how do you do that? How do you do it? So here's how you do it. And I'm fortunate enough to, in the job that I work, I can set my own schedule. But not everybody can. But you need to know where to draw the line. You do need to set your schedule. You need to say, you know what, I work 9 to 5, and when 5 o'clock comes around, I'm done. I am done. If you're getting paid overtime, that's fine, but I don't think you should have to stay there all the time. To me, that's just, I know maybe it doesn't sound realistic, but you need to work somewhere or have a job where they respect your time. I know, easier said than done. But seriously, just set a schedule. So if you're supposed to be done at 5, but you're like, oh, I just have like one more thing to do. Let me just type this paper up, or let me just file this, or let me just call this person. That will turn into a million things. And you'll be there not just an hour, 2-3 hours afterwards. And I get that same way. I'm like, oh, I could probably just take on one more client, or I could probably just make one more phone call today. But in all actuality, I have to scale back from that because then I'm not having any fun at all. So you got to leave your work at work. I know sometimes work sucks and you've had a bad day and everything, but literally leave that stuff there. Leave the work attitude, leave the actual work there, and go home and enjoy your life. Because if you're not enjoying your life, what do they say? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Is that who his name is? Jack. I don't know. Actually, once you have decided this is my schedule and I'm leaving work, hey, get a life and plan some activities with people that you actually have fun with in your life. Because if you're not taking these steps, if you're just like, oh, I have to work and I can't do anything else, I just work. And when I get home from work, I work more and then I go to sleep. You were not put on this earth to work and die. Work, pay bills, and die. I'm sorry, you weren't. So wake the heck up and realize that you need to start having some fun in your life. And I'm not talking like jumping out of an airplane or anything like that. If that's fun to you, go for it. Make plans with people in your life. Make plans like, hey, we're going to go to the movies on Friday. How hard is that? You need to have a life. They're like, oh, get a life. Really, get a life outside of work. I'm not saying a crazy life, but take time for yourself also. I don't care what it is. Like, I get up earlier so I can have time for myself. Not that I've got like these crazy kids running around, just so I can have time where there's just me. I don't need to get up that early. I love my sleep. I love to sleep in my bed where it's warm. But you know what? I found that just doing that, making that little bit of time for myself, makes the rest of my day so much smoother. And it has changed so much. I can't even fathom what has changed as far as how I react and respond to certain things. It just, and do not feel guilty for changing these things or doing these things in your life, because you know what? It's your life. These are your decisions. You can be miserable and just work, or you can kind of balance it. And what is balance? That's going to be for you to figure out. It really is. Finding the right balance is all up to you. But you have to realize that you can't be so serious about everything all the time. You cannot be like, I have to work, I have to work, I have to work, I have to work. Set that schedule, know the balance, find where it works for you. Everybody's different. You know, you have so much pressure to get things done at work and so little time to live, okay? So you need to stop living under so much pressure and realizing, you know what? Just like I said, I was not put here just to work. I have to figure out how to balance it. Guys, I'm not trying to put any parents on guilt trips, but there have been times, and I understand, mom and dad have to work, so I'm not judging or anything. Breaks my heart to see these children with nobody there with them. Someone's got to have some playtime in that family. Don't do that. I understand. You got to show your kids that it's important to work hard and it's important to be successful and go after what you believe in, but you also have to show them that sometimes you don't have to be so serious and you can be a little crazy. You can, like I said this morning, walk into the gym when Staying Alive is playing and think that you're, what's his name, Tony Manero, or however you say it. Seriously, you guys, you have to have fun. Make your job fun, because if you can't do that, then you're way too serious. Every place that I've worked, and I'm telling you, I've worked in some serious places. I worked in a hospital. I made it fun. You have to make life fun, because when it comes down to it, it's all about how you decide, how you create the balance, how you decide, you know what, I'm not saying don't go to work. I'm not saying that. But you have to realize, like, okay, I'm working way too much and it's stressing me out. So is it worth it? I'm working too hard on this, or I'm working too hard on that, or I have to get the whole house painted by such and such date. Take time to breathe. Take 5 minutes to breathe and gather yourself and figure out what it is that's going to pull this all together. Now, every day is not going to be balanced like that, but you have to kind of base certain things around it and know, like, this is acceptable and this isn't. And when we went this route, things were batshit crazy. I mean, I can remember watching, my dad had his business for, I believe, 10 years. And there were times where, things got a little crazy and he realized, this isn't fun. This is not very good balance in my life. It's time for me to stop this. It's time for me to go back to where I was at and not be so serious about this stuff and be able to breathe. If you feel like you're suffocating between trying to balance your work and your play, then you need to step back and you need to follow these steps. You need to set a schedule and plan on when you're going to work and when you're going to say no. Because you know what? If you say no to overtime, I really don't think that they can take your house. I really don't think they can. I really don't think they can slash your tires, I mean, what can they do? If you're doing it all the time, that's one thing. But be responsible in setting your work schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't say, I got to play. I can't work, Monday through, I can't work on any days that end in Y. So I got to play. My life's too serious. Be reasonable about it. Leave your work at work. Make plans with people in your life. Take time for yourself. And oh God, please don't feel guilty about it. Please do not. Because the people that you're putting to the side and the things that you're missing out on by working way too hard, that's where you should feel guilty. You should feel guilty for not playing, okay? So find what the balance is for you. Find out what works. Try to follow these steps and think about it. Maybe you can put it into your life. Maybe you can change some things around. Maybe you can say, you know what? I'm cool with the balance I have in my life. I'm happy where I'm at. Everything is wonderful. But if you're like, things have to be so serious all the time and you're just not having fun, then you need to re-examine some things. I feel like life should be lived. Now, I have a different idea of how life should be lived based on some other people. I don't want to live at the edge of my seat. So for me, balance may be different from someone who, like I said, wants to jump out of a plane. You get to pick. So it's all up to you. And I want you to kind of think about it, because now we're at the end of the week and you're like, how am I going to balance all this? What am I going to do? Try to make next week different. If you thought this week was crazy, busy, stressful, figure out how you're going to balance all that next week. Figure out what really is important and what isn't. Okay? When it comes down to it, you're the one who finds the balance. You're the one who is responsible for it. This all can take shape and change only the way you want to change it. And in that point, when you can balance the two, work and play, you're going to be happy with life. You're going to be content. I'm not saying you need to have it all to be happy, but that key word there, content. Like, I've got a good balance going on here between work and play. I really do. And I can take a breath at the end of the day and know that life was lived today. Life is meant to be lived. You are not meant to work and pay bills and die. So get out there, have some fun with life. Don't be so serious. Balance your work and play. Just know you can't do all of either and be successful at all. Like I said, too much play, can't pay the bills. Too much work, you're suffering. You're missing out on a life that should be lived. So find your balance and enjoy your life and be happy. So that was step 5. That's the end of it. So I want to thank you guys all for joining me this week. I've got some killer series coming up in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.